I guess just hilarious. Didn't find anything hilarious and just possibly may not be hilarious. By the end of this video, I would like to know how you feel about just hilarious. Hi, everybody, and this is Auntie. And if this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. So, just like you, I've been out here watching all the things that have been going on downtown at the Breakfast Club with Just Hilarious. I'm going to be showing a couple of videos of what has transpired, and we're going to have a conversation about it. So last week, a comedian by the name of Corey Holcomb said some things about Just Hilarious. They allegedly have not been getting along for quite some time, and he took to his platform and said some things about her. As a result of that, I guess girlfriend got offended. But not only did she get offended, some of her followers got offended as well. And y'all know how it is. If somebody say something about me, y'all are whoop banging in the street. And that's understandable. But from a content creator's perspective, sometimes you got to put the brakes on it. As you all know, I have had my fair share of I don't know what to call it, but criticisms downtown on the YouTube, maybe on the Instagram, and maybe some other places as well. And those things could have been a battle royale to the finish. But I've chosen to, on most occasions, rise above it unless I really have to get down dirty and in the street. People are going to say what they want to say about you on their platform, but you are the one that have to make sure that you maintain your own self-respect, your own dignity, and your own class at the end of the day. And the thing about it is you have to make sure that you cover that bread, that you make sure that that bread is covered wherever it may be. Many of us don't have the luxury of sitting on a talk show and talking all day and making really good income off of it. But there are a few who do make really good income off of podcasting and other things like that, right? I won't go on all the way down to the nitty gritty with it. But I must say that I found myself in between and in betwixt watching what was going on. And I know that a lot of times you all want me to talk about these current and trending subjects. So here we are. Happy Sunday. Happy fun day. So I'm going to play real quick Corey Holcomb on TikTok. And, he had some choice things that he wanted to say about her. I'm going to share the screen and we're going to listen to him, and then we're going to discuss Just Hilarious reaction to it. Um, One of the things that I have learned in my life before I go on is that you can't react to anything and everything. You need to respond. Responding is different from reaction because a reaction is something that you do like instantly without even thinking about it. If you fall, if you're falling, your body is going to automatically react to that, that fall or losing your balance, and it's going to try to guard itself, whether you put your hands out, your elbows, whatever, your body is going to react to that. Then what happens is the body responds to that reaction. Either your arm gonna be hurting, you done twist you twist your wrist, maybe have burnt some skin off of it, whatever. But now your body is going to respond to that trauma. And I just really wish that, sometimes before we react based on what we hear in the comment section, what we hear from other people on, different platforms, is that we choose to respond and not react. So bear with me as I bring this up really quick. I'm going to bring this up and share it on the screen.
Up at the Breakfast Club.
She done got it.
Well, this is what happened at the Breakfast Club. She took that job. She got that job because I think she had a social media presence. I can't imagine why else.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
She got that job. And I always said she wasn't talented.
Saying that for a while.
She got the job and got knocked up shortly afterwards.
Now, what I did not like about this, so I understand what he said. She took the job. And then he says that she got knocked up afterwards. Let me tell you why that bothers me. It bothers me because it's almost as if you're penalizing women for getting pregnant. Now, I don't know if that was his intent for it to come off that way, but it absolutely came off that way to me. I think that the world has become more open to women being able to be pregnant. As a matter of fact, they now have paternity leave for dads who want to stay home in the early months, in the early days of their children's pregnancy. Their children's birth. So I did not understand why he would come off and make it appear that, her getting pregnant or choosing to get pregnant, right, was something wrong or something that causes, her to be less than or her to be treated unfairly. There are laws that protect paternity. There are laws that that we have put in place for paternity leave and all that kind of stuff. So I could not understand what the dig was, what was the shade, what was wrong with what Just Hilarious did. However, we're going to talk about later on that she did talk about going out on leave and putting someone in her place and what happened as a result of that. But I just wanted to stop it real quick just to say I totally disagree with that analogy. She took the job and then she got knocked up. Can we just say she got pregnant or she chose to be pregnant? Like, okay.
And the worst thing in the world happened. They brought in somebody who was talented.
Who they bring in?
Homegirl from.
They brought in someone who was talented, but they didn't do the same thing. Let's continue.
She used to be on TMZ.
Yeah, she has experience with doing that. When she talks, her voice. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
The girl who is Lauren. That
You should have known her name. So automatically, by him not knowing the girl's name, is a dig. It was a dig.
girl know what she doing. She knows how to fit in with Charlemagne and the other guy, DJ Envy. It's like it's seamless when she there.
Right.
It's the talent. The talent shows out. And then Les and Larry's ain't even reading right. And now she had a job where all she had to do was deliver the news. She had a segment on the Breakfast Club. The other girl who has experience and talent at this job took her segment. Right. Not because she tried to, it's just you saw somebody who's talented. And then you see, read that, Les Hilarious.
And she stood in for her when she took off maternity leave.
When she stood in for... Les Hilarious, you should have had your baby on camera at the Breakfast Club.
How rude and disrespectful. I'm assuming he has no children, no wife, no girlfriend. But okay, let's move on.
Stupid.
Because they brought in somebody who is talented. And you could say I'm dissing because that's what you're going to do. You're going to act like I'm hating. I'm not hating. You don't got the it. Your segment could have been good if you knew how to deliver it right. But now they got somebody doing your segment better than you, and it's just flawless. And now.
So here's where, I'm sorry. So let's talk about it. So this man, who's not her equal, reads her, talks about her, right? He's coming from a male's perspective. He has no idea about these two women. So maybe you, like me, get pregnant. Whether we wanted to or we didn't, we decided that we were going to have our baby and we go out on maternity leave. More often than not, our job makes an arrangement for someone to take our place or to attempt to take our place. That person coming in is not going to be a 100% duplicate of who you are at all. They're going to flow the way that they flow. They're going to do the work the way that they do their work. It is what it is. Everybody's different. But for the most part, as long as the job gets covered, it gets covered. Now, Just Hilarious, of course, you all know, went out on maternity leave. She alleged that she picked Lauren. Okay, she handpicked Lauren to take her place while she was on maternity leave. Once she came back from maternity leave, Jess was believing that, okay, she was my replacement. However, she's now going to be gone. To unbeknownst to her, they had decided that they wanted her to do like the news, and Jess does the Just Hilarious thing. So she would come to work, and the girl was still there. She's thinking, okay, after maternity leave is over, she's going to be gone. This guy comes out here and throws a rock. In my opinion, what he threw was a pebble. But because of social media and the pressures of social media, the embarrassment of social media, the shame that can sometimes come with social media, people tend to believe that they got to go to war, that they got to get in the comment section, that they got to get good. Just Hilarious sat on her platform and dragged her place of employment. Dragged. Said that no one stood up for her, no one had her back. How can they have your back? Have your back on what? No, she said that the breakfast, she implied and said that the Breakfast Club is ran like a high school. But yet and still, she still wants to go there and collect a check. She said no one had her back. But yet and still, she still wants to go there and collect a check. And I've always been told that you don't eat or you don't poop where you eat. There are many of us in everyday life who don't like our jobs. But we don't poop where we eat. We don't get on social media and drag our place of employment and handle business that should be done in an office in public. Can you imagine the repercussions of doing such a thing? Currently, right now, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of workers who have either been laid off, are possibly going to be laid off, and some who will be retiring from jobs that they have served in for years. And many of them, you have not heard a peep because you don't poop where you eat. So Just Hilarious decides that she's going to go on to her in her job. She's going to wake up in the first of all, she went to social media, she dragged them. I could play it and I don't want to play it. But she went on social media and she dragged them. And then she made a decision. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's see what you're saying. Then she should quit. Thank you so much, Saintly Iconic. So for your comment, boo. I thank you. Corey got called out for editing videos to his favorite cut and pacing to make his point valid. No better than Dr. Umar. And see, I don't mess in those arenas, but I am familiar with who he is. Thank you so much for your comment. She went on maternity leave as soon as she got the job, and she wasn't fully prepared for this corporate setting, in my opinion. He always has something to say about everybody, and I truly believe that. So, one of the things that she said was nobody has even tried to clean up the narrative that I'm a villain. Just told her co host, speaking to them face to face hours after shading them in a heated social media rant. She added, I'm worried about the perception and my reputation up here on this show. But the stone was never thrown from her colleagues. The stone that was thrown, why should they take responsibility for it? See, when you're a grown woman, a grown ass woman, you got to handle things like a grown ass woman. Nobody knows when you're going to be picking and choosing on when you're going to be a kid and need somebody to defend you from the bully on the playground. See, Jess Hilarious comes out and she says, certain things, right? She'll dig and drag and do all kinds of stuff. Absolutely, Kevin. Kevin said yes, but you're looking at it from an old school type professional. This generation of kids are different. They feel everything has to be recorded and put on the internet. Absolutely, including their pink slips. You're right, Kevin. Welcome, boo. I ain't seeing you in a minute. Love you, miss you. And I agree with Kevin on that, which is where I was going to go. But of course, he hadn't already went there because, that's the lawyer in him. Everything ain't for social media, including the conversation that she had with the young woman. Young folk, y'all have got to learn how to use social media to make advances in your life and not tear your life up because you got to go out there and beef and talk. Because one thing about social media, you're going to have the negative and the positive always. People are going to have an opinion one way or the other. There is nobody out there that is above criticism. But everything ain't for social media. And I don't know if this is going to ruin her opportunity. Now, she made a comment indicating that I've been doing shows. You asked me why I haven't been coming to work because I've been doing shows. So does that mean that Just Hilarious doesn't need the money? Does that mean that she's not satisfied with her salary? Because I'll take her place. I will sit for a couple of hours. I will do the research required, and I will sit with Charlemagne and DJ Envy and who else on that stage, and I will talk my all day. And then I will go home and collect my paycheck, spend it the way that I want to spend it, and I will come back the next day with my together. Now, that's whether or not I have a side hustle or not. See, sometimes we get things right and we think that we're up here or we can't be touched. But I have learned as a content creator, you can be touched, but you got to make a decision to pick your battles. After a while, she was in a posture and in a position of backpedaling. Because see, once you go out there and you do that based on a reaction and not on a response, because what we all will have understood if she had responded to Corey, but she didn't. She reacted not only to him, but to her coworkers. She sat in this girl's face and dragged her. The young lady said, "You cut me off, Jess. When we're on here, you cut me off. You tell me shut up. You tell me what." She said, because you be talking over top of me. They said that they had a conversation about it. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Okay, let's listen to a little bit of it. Shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
A lot of that, like, oh, you doing good, and I don't like this about Jess, and I hate that. Yesterday we were out, and majority of the people I ran into, Jess with the mess in her this is real. Okay, you back? You ready? Jess is back. You ready? Let's get it.
Not to tell him off the chair.
What's up, Jess?
I mean, I don't want the baby shower chair back, but this.
Hello, Jessica Robin.
A lot of times when people see two women that can do things really, really well, it's always like you got to pick a side.
Yeah.
And what we have been able to, and I don't think people know that we've had conversations. And I thank you so much for just giving that chair and opening up that chair, because women in this industry don't do that. Like, you don't give your chair to another woman.
No.
So
Now, I'm going to tell you, even in the corporate, at the corporate level, women don't want to do that. Because you done already just about scrapped and fought your way to the top. And so it is a challenge when women want to give another sister kudos and you want to give her an opportunity, but you're scared because you feel like your chance is going to be gone. And I think that that's what Corey did. He made a comparison between the two women and made it war. And Jess had already been internalizing these things, right? Because she came out of her mouth and said, that's why I've been doing shows. So she already was feeling some kind of way instead of just saying, look, it's a girl, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? See, because I'm not going to make another woman my enemy, because I know that that woman only has the power that she has. That there are people at the top, right, who are making a determination for both her career and mine. I am never going to allow someone to pit me against someone else, especially a woman. Take that somewhere else. Now, that may be because of my level of maturity, my age, maybe because I've played these games before, but you are never going to pit me against somebody else. Now, if they choose to backstab me or try to backstab me, good luck. Because I'm already in a position as a Black woman that I have to cross all of my T's and dot all of my I's. I've already learned. The game has taught me well that I have to be better. I gotta be stronger. I gotta think faster. I've gotta move faster. I've gotta do more. So by the time you sit there and it try to set me up, I'm out the door. Moving on to greener pastures. Because I truly believe that you reap whatever you sow. And if you sow discord, you get up, you move up in discord, and that discord will follow you the rest of your career. I understand that there was some elements, y'all, and hear me all the way. There was some elements of what Jess was saying that were legitimate. Let me bring my whole face to the screen. Thank you so much, Nikki Monet, for the $4.99 super chat. Would you have cared that your replacement was still there if you were still on air and getting paid? I would have just acclimated to the foursome. When I was coming up the ranks and had my baby and had my child, I was on maternity leave. When I came back from maternity leave, do you think that there were not voices that were saying X, Y, and Z did it better? Oh, I guess we're going to have to go back to the way that you were doing it because X, Y, and Z did it this way. Okay. So either we're going to go back or we're going to continue to do it the way that I do it. But the way that you navigate that in the corporate arena is, hey, understand that, you implemented something, can you show me what that is? Now, the willingness of the other woman, I don't know, because some women, they do want your job. What the song say? What they do. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. Backstabbers. So I'm not saying that there aren't backstabbers and that there aren't situations where you may have someone who does want your spot. But they got to move you or get you up out of that spot. I agree with Nikki that I would have, okay, if she's a full person, I'm still hilarious. My whole thing is be hilarious. While she may be a good researcher and a good news anchor and can articulate better than anybody you may know, when you are secure about who you are and you know who you are, just be hilarious. Do your job. The conversation, I believe, this is my opinion. And like Kevin said, I'm old school. So we work on a different creed. But new school, do your job. You don't have to be like everybody else. And the only person that is your competition is you. It's you. Nobody else is your competition. And when you find yourself going down on a road like that, you got to dig deeper. You don't have an argument with your boss on the floor. You don't pull your boss to the side in front of everybody. Look, pull them to the side in front of everybody and criticize your boss. Don't think that, even if you think she was right, don't think that that's going to work for you in a corporate setting. It's inappropriate to chastise, to correct your boss that way. There's a time and a place for everything. With me and one of my girlfriends, one of the things that we use and that we always speak out of our mouths is open up. God opened up a door of opportunity. Open up a door opportunity for me to deal with this. Open up a door of opportunity. Not me opening up a door. You open a door. Because I believe that there are times when we are ignored. Because I'm not going to play the pity game. I'm not going to play the woe with me, I'm a woman game. Like, we're not doing that. We're not going to do the woe with me. Even though we know that certain things are a reality, we're not doing that. We're going to come to a solution, and we're going to talk about best practices out on this mother. Your best practice is number one, don't react. You grow up in the hood, you're going to always have a hood in you because that's just what it is. You grow up in the country, you're going to always have the country in you. You grow up in the suburbs, you're going to always have that in you. But that ain't got to be what always comes out of you. You got to be able to assess where you are, and you got to gauge your audience. You have to gauge your audience. And you have to understand that no matter what you think or what or how right or wrong you think you are, there are going to always be two opinions. One for you and one against you. But how do you handle yourself? Grow up and do your job. You don't worry about somebody else's job. And if it's a situation where you need to approach it, then approach it. A lot of this got to do with ego. I can't let nobody read me. Y'all have heard people do videos about me. One person said they was going to drag me like a pit bull. Y'all remember? What did I do? I ignored it. Because I am not going to fight a battle that's somebody else's. You got to always consider everything. Every battle and every dog that bark isn't the trainer nor the owner of a thing. You have to understand that sometimes things are more complicated. They are a little bit more, let's see what we could say, how we could say this. It's just more going on behind the scenes. And so I practice what I preach. I have learned the art of shutting the fuck up. I am skilled in the art of shutting the fuck up. And you know why? Because I have also learned from the hard school of fuck around and find out. See, that isn't just for other people. That's for me too. That's for you too in your life. A lot of the things that we learn as we grow up is from trial and error, or FAFO. I don't know what the outcome is going to be or about this, because I've seen different platforms say that Jess has gotten fired and some that say that she hasn't gotten fired, but she's absolutely in school. And I wanted to talk to my people, you all who follow me, who love me, who subscribe to me, who got those notification bells on. Don't let this be you. Don't let somebody's criticism make you get out of character. Send you to the school of fuck around and find out. Have you at the school of hard knocks? Because we're just may be able to recover. You may not be. Things are hard out here. And I'm going to tell you right now, seeing the two of them bicker, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I have videos lined up. Right now, videos, all the videos lined up. But I choose to turn this into a learning and a teaching tool for you all. I got my glasses off so I don't see the comments. I'll put them back on. Absolutely. Absolutely. The fact, thank you, are you open? Am I open? She said the fact that he didn't even know Lauren's name said to me that he has a personal issue against Jess. He didn't care who took Jess H out. He was just celebrating the fact that it happened. Absolutely. And then she goes on to say, and that was a side note. Okay. 907 Good E said, yep, sometimes we got to get out of our own way. Stephanie Bradley said, I had a coworker tell me because I politely corrected her during the training. I didn't confront her. I went silent instead. My silence was louder than my words, to the point she apologized to me. Absolutely, Stephanie. Y'all have seen it. Y'all know what I'm talking about that I have gone through on social media. Y'all know. My silence spoke more volume than the words that were said about me. Because I'm going to let you ponder a thing. And as I said, you got to look at the hands behind it. Just like the young lady said in the comment section, Corey don't like her no way. So why she would even expect or respect anything that came out of his mouth is confusing to me altogether. I do want to play this. Let me cue it up. I do want to play this.
Let it affect me because I know who I am as a person. I don't give a F what them people say in the comments.
Oh, come on.
I know who I am.
On.
I know what I do.
Well,
you let them people get in the comments and F with you. You're great at what you do.
Everybody simmer down.
Like you are dope.
She's very
and you
dope.
let them people piss you off. No, F them niggas.
I
you nice. Like what you do is funny.
I tell her that all the time, on air,
You brought
off
that
air.
energy that we needed to the Breakfast Club. Yeah. And you let a bitch ass person in the comments say something to stare you up. I tell you, F them niggas.
We don't even know who these people are.
They could be bots and all that. But, and we doing it on air when we could have did it behind the scenes. Like I F with you the long way, not on some internet ish. And to hear that through there, that's whack, man.
It sounds very light skinned. But let's go to the phones. 1-800-585-1051. Let's open the phone lines. Everybody woosah.
I'm going to get a sparkler water.
I got my candles lit. I got my candles lit. If you need me to light sage, I'll light sage. Just want to fight. Envy being beige rage. It's the Breakfast Club.
That's what she needed. But she needed that behind closed doors. When Jess came out and she said nobody backed me, that hurt her. And what is the old saying? Hurt people. Hurt people. She needed that confirmation, that reassurance. She needed that. But just like a child that runs and spazzes out in the middle of the mall, you're not going to get the attention from your parent that you expect to get. You might just get tapped. These same people that she dragged were the people who were there to give her the reassurance, Jess, you made a difference here. This is something we could have handled and we could have talked about privately. Those tears was her releasing, in my opinion, all of the stress and all that kind of stuff that she allowed other people voices to tell her about. But see, you got to be confident in yourself. She needed DJ Envy to cuss her, not out. He didn't cuss her out. He cussed her in. He made her to look inside and understand, this is all I wanted. I wanted you all to affirm me. But you got to affirm yourself first. And you got to handle first things first. You can't come out there on the streets, boo, and be screaming and hollering like a kid in the mall. That same kid can use their voice, their words appropriately, right? Energy got to match energy. Nobody wants you to come and sit on the show and go off and then go on your social media platform where you have influence over people and poop where you eat. Everything isn't for everybody to see nor hear. And even though she may have went, now I don't know the environment there because I don't work there, but there have been times when we as people in general have gone to our boss behind closed doors and nothing has changed. So I do understand the fear because I'm not ignorant, I ain't stupid. There are times when we go to our boss and we say stuff and don't a damn thing change. Matter of fact, it seems to get worse. But that's when you got to build yourself up. And you got to say, you know what? Either I'm going to stay up in this mother or I'm going to leave. Because nothing is changing. This isn't an environment that's conducive for me to grow, for me to go to the next level. I don't believe that my skill set works for this place. And these are the things that she was saying when she said, I've been touring. I've been making my money over here. So your skill sets work on the stage. But now there has to be a question, is this the right place for my skill set? Do I feel heard on the Breakfast Club or no? Because just maybe it is time for you to take your roots about the ground. Because trust me, a flower that is strong, a tree that is strong, a plant that is strong can be uprooted and placed somewhere else and continue to grow to its maturity. Just do your job. Do your job to the best ability that you can do your job, and don't worry about what Lauren doing and what she bringing into to the table, because the same skill set that you saw that made you recommend her is the same skill set that got her there. And if you genuinely did it not for cloud chasing or to get credit for it, then you shine on that, sis. You don't sit there and cut her off and tell her to shut up and all of that, because that's not appropriate. Because if you from Baltimore, you get a DC girl on it, she gonna match your energy. She gonna match your energy. Thank you. I am Mika. I've noticed that you might need to ask for validation sometimes because sometimes people don't know you need it. They are more willing to give you love, props when they realize you need it. And even if they don't, you got to build yourself up on your most holy faith. You got to do whatever you got to do to make it do what it do till it don't do what it do. Nobody is responsible for holding you up and building up your self-esteem. You are responsible for that. If someone is in your life that will do that for you, that's a blessing. But let me tell you, when you rise up in the morning, you got to look your own damn self in the mirror. That's the only reflection that you see. And when I hope you brushing your teeth and washing your face, let me tell you something. While I agree with what Miss Nikki Monet said, I want to make sure that you all know that ain't nobody responsible for doing the work in your life as far as affirmation and all that but you. Anybody else that says anything in your life is a confirmation to what you already believe about yourself. That's why when some women get told that they fat and they ugly, if that's what they believe, then it's a confirmation to them and they continue to see themselves as just being ugly and fat and never being anything but ugly and fat. There are millions of people who grew up in this world with no validation whatsoever. You got to build yourself up. It's nice to get a good kiki and a good car. It is nice to get you did a good job, but if you don't do it and you don't get it, you build yourself up. Just non-hilarious this time. Grow up and do your job. And that's on period. And your job is to take care of yourself. And if you talk to DJ Envy and you talk to Charlamagne the God and the other producers and all of that, and they don't hear you, roll out. You ain't the first one that been pregnant. You won't be the last. You ain't the first one to come back to a job and then changed after your maternity leave. You ain't the first one to be criticized, and you won't be the last. But you got to make it do what it do. And those people that are around you that celebrate you, you bounce things off of them. Because social media will switch up on your ass in a minute. People like you today and hate you tomorrow. Take that from a content creator. A small fry. I'm a small fry. I'm a small fry with a small channel. I will never, ever be able to reach probably the people that you have. But I'm confident right where I'm at. Right where I'm at. Grow up. Let this be your grow up moment. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Yes, indeed, Auntie, you're gorgeous and a beautiful blessing to us all. I love you. I love you too. Grow up, Jess. And let this be a stepping block for you and not a stumbling one. Let this be something that you learn. You use it as a stepping block to go higher and higher so that there'll be a woman in your life that you can talk to, that you can encourage. Because I've been there. I'm talking from my own experiences. I used to be Jess, and I'm still ghetto. I'm still ghetto. There's some areas if you tap it, I'm going off. I'm going off. But I use it not to hold myself back, not to let it be a stumbling block, but a stepping stone. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section what y'all think about this situation. I'm so curious to hear what you have to say. If you have not already done so, go ahead on and comment, like, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, because we're going to be doing more trending news. I truly enjoy you all being here. And until we meet again, y'all, please be safe out there in those streets and in water. Bye, y'all.